Hey, this is Jake from Jake's Board Reviews, and today we're reviewing the Rocket Redux by Lost Mayor Matt Biolos himself. And this board has been an interesting selection. It's had its moments, but ultimately it hasn't been my favourite board. I think due to that rocket tail, it was a bit too pivoty for my likings, but I think for surfers that like to whip the tail out a lot and throw some airs, I think that'll be perfect for you. And a lot of my mates liked it because of how loose it was in the tail and yeah, just easy to catch waves. That low entry rocker and also low exit rocker, I would show you on the ground, but it's hard to show. Just provided that paddle power to be there, even when the waves weren't so peaky. I did, however, find that in the 2 foot range, this board was better than in the 1 foot range. I found when I rode previously the V3 Rocket, the V3 was much better in the small waves as opposed to this board. This board was actually better in the 2 to 4 foot range was a sweet spot, and I'd say actually 2 to 3 foot. Where I was surprised, I was watching one of the reviews. I think it was someone in America. Can't remember the name. I think Real Board Sports or something. Trev Foreman. Yeah, I think that's his name. And I was watching it, and the guy just kept getting barrel after barrel. He's getting tubed like almost every wave at some beach in America. I think it was the Outer Banks or something. And yeah, after watching that, I thought I have to buy this. What I did find was that fin setup. I was riding a thruster, medium accelerators. I actually ended up at the board shop and decided to go a large set of AMs just to offer that extra hold in a thruster. But I just felt like with a thruster, the get up and go speed wasn't there for me at the best of times. I felt with a quad, I definitely had in the smaller stuff when I was about 1.5 to 2, that get up and go speed was there, and I was able to really whip it around and also keep that hold there. Where this board had problems with was actually, I think with the single concave, it had problems in the onshore conditions. I definitely found that, so that was one thing that I wasn't too impressed with. How it wasn't terrible in the onshore conditions, but it didn't like it as much. If we talk about deck compressions, durability wise, it's about a 7.5 out of 10. Similar kind of almost to the Fever, but yeah, a bit better than the Fever. But I think yeah, not the best deck compressions, like durability wise, not the best, but yeah, it's still relatively pretty good. I was surprised. I thought when I bought it, I was looking for like a stubby, high performance shortboard. I'd say kind of your even like, yeah, high level, mid level, intermediate to expert. Wouldn't recommend this board for a beginner. If there was one thing I had to say, would have to say is that if you're thinking about buying the board, because of that thin nose, which I was really surprised with when I bought it. I didn't actually take much time into looking at it. I was just like, oh, I'm just going to buy it. That thin nose actually in the front was, yeah, surprisingly pretty knifey, so good in the hollow sections. Yeah, it felt very high performance, so yeah, sometimes I really like a bit of foam distributed in the nose, so if you watch some of my previous reviews on the Monster Box by JS, even the RNF, the Redux, there was a lot of like kind of foam in the front, even though it had the pointy nose. This board almost feels like I could just karate chop it in half in the front, but probably couldn't. It's too tough to do that, but yeah. What it is yeah, I'd say that honestly, it's probably your high level intermediate through to expert would be comfortable on this board, and for the more beginner surfers, yeah, it really just depends what you're going for, to be honest. I kind of like my boards, I'm starting to realise, which I've known for a long time, is to have a single to double concave. So usually boards go single throughout here, and then they hit about a double just above the fins or through the fins. I kind of like those boards. This goes like a deep concave, singles out, and then into a bit of slight V off the tail. I wouldn't say that V's super aggressive. We tested it at my board shop with, at the board shop I go to with Tom. So yeah, it wasn't super aggressive. Any other things to talk about with this board? Yeah, I do actually. I'd say I'd recommend it for people that want to just have fun when the waves are a bit lackluster, just on like beaches, I'd say that on point breaks, this board was pretty shocking. Like, yeah, it's definitely not designed for point breaks, but I'd say as a quad, it would be pretty good on the point breaks. But yeah, I think I want to sell this and get the RNF 96 because I'm pretty stoked on the way that board looks. So yeah, quad setup. I was running large AMs in the front and a medium accelerator set at the back, just to kind of, what's the word, compensate? Yeah, that's the word. Alright, cool. Well, thanks for watching this review. Our next review, I'm not too sure. I think we have the Neil Purchase Jr. Quartet, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Skateboard Reviews.